Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is October the 29th, 2021, and today the topic is Where Would I Be? Man, good morning, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So many things. So many things are on my mind at the moment, but at the same time, there are a few things to share. So I guess I'll go ahead and, knock these announcements out. Um, well, one thing I found out is that um, my coloring book, y'all know the coloring book, right? My coloring book, Unwind Self Care Coloring Book for Women, it is now available on Target.com. It probably has been up there for a while, but unfortunately, the situation is I don't know something is there until I look. And so, yeah, I just happened to go look or whatnot, and yeah, found out that the coloring book is on Target.com. So, thank and praise God for that, man. It's amazing, like what God has done this year. With everything is, I mean, I don't know what I can even say. I mean, I know I've shared it along the way with you all. Um, those of y'all that listen to the juice frequently and whatnot, then you guys know already, how it felt to publish and how it felt to, start creating all these things you all see around me and whatnot. And again, I think the reason I share, yes, is to celebrate each moment because again, it's something that I'm actively trying my best to be more intentional about. Because again, those of you all that know me personally, you may know that your girl didn't used to take time to just bask in the moment. I always was just focused on the future, and so much so where I didn't take notice or fully appreciate the gift of the present. so, so yeah, I guess this whole thing is just blowing my mind this year. God has done so many miraculous things, and yeah, so I found out that yesterday. But I mean, posted about it this morning, so I figured I would just go ahead and share it here on the juice. You guys can find more information about Unwind and the whole movement on unwindselfcare.com. But yeah, man, aside from that, finding that out yesterday, well, y'all know it was my boy's Derek's birthday yesterday. I don't know if you all know that, but I tried to shout it out on my social media. The guy with BroBrosBites.com. I guess y'all can't hit him up this weekend because I heard he's going to Miami. I guess he's probably already on the plane or at the airport or something like that. So I hope that he enjoys his weekend and that um, he has safe travels to and from. And yeah, man. Yeah, I hope he enjoys his birthday. I had to stop by and show some love. Like I said, he's right around the corner, so the least we can do is stop by and show some love. But yeah, I gave him a couple bottles, from miraclewine.com. Look, we just dropping all the all the websites this morning. Yeah, but I did give him a couple of bottles of sparkling, and yeah, hopefully he'll be able to enjoy it and enjoy his weekend and whatnot for his birthday. Y'all know that today's Friday, so I might as well go ahead and share that an episode of God, Sex, and Love, the talk show, will be airing. It is the chat with Miss Deanna Idris. She is the co-owner of um, Better Topics, the card game, and so yeah, tune in tonight at 7 p.m. on our YouTube. I'll be sharing it on our Facebook as well. But yeah, check out you know that chat to learn more about Better Topics and learn more about Miss Deanna and their inspiration and everything like that. Um, what else? I feel like there's something else I was supposed to share. Uh, hmm. Well, I can't think at the moment. I can't think of it at the moment. But yeah, I guess this morning, I did my prayer meditation and whatnot. And right after, I just started to think like, man, where would I be? I think about this often. Um, especially again when I look at my husband, when I look at my son, um, when I look at all the things I'm doing in this moment, I often think like, man, where would I be if I'd have just made some different choices? Um, again, since we still dropping here, I talk a lot about things that I went through and different crossroads in my life. In this book, y'all know this book, The Cultivation Period. Um, I talk a lot about the crossroads that I came to, the different moments in my life where um, I had to decide like what I was going to do. Am I going to go left or am I going to go right? Am I going to follow God or am I going to try to do my own thing? Um, again, I'm not perfect, right? I'm not perfect. And I still don't feel like I made all of the right decisions, quote unquote. Um, but at the same time, seeing where I am now, I feel like I was on the right track. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was on the right track. And I think the thing is, um, even in spite of the things that I felt like I didn't do right, you know, God still used those things for his glory, right? To me, it's just a reiteration of that verse that, hey, all things work together for the good of those that love God. I believe, just like when I was talking to Papa Ray, he mentioned as well that, at the end of the day, God knows our heart, right? So even if we don't do everything right, or even if we don't, we still may find ourselves in sin. But I believe that if we have the intention to follow God, right? If we acknowledge our sin and focus on trying to do things God way, then at least I can only speak for me. I've just seen God do again so many miraculous things in my life in general. And then yes, now in this season too, where it's like, wow, like again, like I said, I wonder where I would be. I think one of the first thoughts I had this morning was, where would I be if, for example, God had given me the desires of my heart when I was going through all this. Like, what if, because that's what I was asking for at that time. I was like, Lord, where's my husband? Where is he? You know what I'm saying? So what if he had given me the man that I thought I desired at that time? Where would I be? I mean, now again, I tell you all the time, my husband's human, he's not perfect, and I'm not perfect neither, but at the end of the day, for me to be able to do all the things I'm doing, it has definitely been with his support. You know what I'm saying? It's been with his encouragement, his support, his ability to make me think bigger. Like I said, I tell him, I joke about it, but I mean, I'm honest as well that he's like my muse. He's like, I can bounce an idea off of him, or he's been inspiration for many of my ideas since I've met him. And yeah, like even this podcast, hey, I guess y'all that listen to me on a daily basis can thank him for the idea of the podcast, because again, it wasn't necessarily in my radar, something I wasn't necessarily thinking about or whatever, but this has been such a blessing to me. Like, it's, I enjoy getting up and doing this, even though it's 4 a.m, even though again, everybody else in my household is asleep. But here I am, again, being intentional about the time that I'm spending with God, being intentional about sharing it, and everything like that. So speaking of, I think that was the other thing I was going to tell you all. Thank you all for the confirmations. Thank you all for those of you all that listen, that watch, that share, that comment. I see you. I appreciate you. It shows me again that I'm on the right track, because a lot of times, like when you're doing something, you don't necessarily feel like, at least I can say, I can only speak for me. So over the years, it's like I felt like after a while, like, okay, if I don't see views, if I don't see comments, if I don't see something, then it's like, oh, well, is it worth it? Should I stop? And you guys can probably see that on, especially on my YouTube. If you go on my YouTube on Actress Miracle Sims YouTube, again, you will see so many different playlists, right? And then especially the one like Miracles Mirror, that was my vlog that I was doing at one point. You know, other little things that I was doing, the whole for romantic, like way back in the day when I first when I first was like, when I was actually going through the cultivation period, those videos, let that marinate. Like there's so many different little things that I was doing that after a while I just stopped. And who knows, again, even then, like who knows if I had to stay on that track where things would be, but that's neither here nor there. I guess I share all this to say that, man, at the end of the day, I'm glad that I've gotten to the point where it's like, well, whether I get the confirmation or not, again, because this does something for me, something within me keeps me doing this. But at the same time, I truly, truly, truly appreciate those that take out the time to respond, take out the time to listen, take out the time to send me a comment and whatnot. I mean, I know I shout out Ewan all the time because he's been super consistent over the past, I mean, I don't even know how long now. I feel like it's, I don't know if it's been a whole year, but, at least over the past few months or whatever, he's like consistently shown love on the YouTube where, again, I told you all before how like one time he commented and I was super tired that morning, but I saw his comment and that's one of the things that helped me get on up to do it. In one of my weak moments, right, where I could have just been like, man, I'm tired, I'm gonna go back to sleep. I just happened to see his comment to say, hey, thank you for doing this X, Y, and Z. And I just was like, wow, let me go ahead and push through and get on up. And who knows, hopefully that encouraged and inspired whatever the people heard from me that day. I can't remember what I talked about that day, but so yeah, so shout out to him. Thank you for the consistency. Thank you for again the confirmations to continue. But I also want to take some time to shout out my homegirl Michaela. She shared a clip from, I don't know if it was from yesterday or the day before, but she shared it yesterday, saying that, I'm getting some inspiration from listening to my girl. She tagged me X, Y, and Z. She's the owner of Twice the Charm Boutique. So that's why I put her website up there, ttcboutique.com. Shout out to you, Michaela. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for tagging and everything like that. Because again, I guess I wouldn't know unless I see or something like that, or unless you tag me. But I appreciate you. Thank you for taking out the time. And I hope that, what I was saying, encourage and inspire you to, on your journey, you know what I mean? So thank you. Thank you to all that do that. I really do appreciate it. Because again, it's the little things that keep me going. And it's the little things that reminds me that, hey, you know what, Miracle, don't be weary in well doing, like the word says. These things will not be in vain. I don't really know. I mean, a lot of times when I think about it, I'm like, wow, for example, I know, especially when you're doing something on YouTube, because I mean, I don't understand YouTube. I don't get it, because it's like some people can get all the views, and then some people can just be like again, trying to do the whole thing of posting every day and all that, and then you're like, see any views or not. I tend to see more views on Facebook, but it's neither here nor there. I think now I've matured to be like, you know what, hey, whether I see the views or not, I'm going to stay consistent and I'm going to do what God has told me to do, right? So I had to get there, though. You know what I'm saying? I had to get there. But on the flip side, it's like that could be discouraging, right? That could be something where it's like, oh, well, if no one's listening, then why am I doing this? But here's the thing. Here's something that came to me. Now, I don't know if this is going to be truth in regards to this or not. I'm not sure. But who's to say, right, that this isn't necessarily even for people that are in my like in this same maybe it's not for the people of this year. Maybe it's some people in the future that's going to be watching this. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or listening. I don't know. But again, I mean, if it resonates, whoever resonates with, I think we praise God for you all. And again, I hope that it encourages you and inspires you. And so, yeah, I mean, these are things that I think about, like when I think about, like, man, where would I be? Because I mean, okay, this crossed my mind this morning too, and I think I've shared about it before. And I hate to, it's not like I'm trying to make the person feel bad or look bad or nothing like that. So I'm not gonna say no names. But I guess if you know me personally, then you know who I'm talking about, X, Y, and Z. But anyway, regardless, basically I had this ex or whatever, and I mean, I think when we got together, everything felt right. You know what I'm saying? Everything felt like, okay, great. This feels good. This feels like, what I had been looking for. Like he was all this to me, you know what I mean? And everything. But how can I say? Even with the love that we felt and showed each other, to get us to the point of being together, there was still something there. I guess maybe he couldn't necessarily give me the love that I was trying to give him, or whatever, because obviously he had to work out a lot of things within himself, and all that. I don't know. Or maybe it just wasn't meant to be, so it had to be something that separated us. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I wondered, like, well, what if I had ended up with him, right? Like, what if things I just kept on holding on and whatnot? Like, where would I be in this moment? Now, obviously, again, I probably wouldn't have met my husband. That means NJ wouldn't be here. What else? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's huge for me. Like that's huge. But what else would not be happening? Well, maybe I would not be doing this. Like he encouraged me to do stuff. He did, but I don't think to the level of what I'm doing now. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know where I would be. I don't know what I would be doing. Maybe I would be stressed. Maybe I would be too stressed to do something like this, by being in that relationship. What else can I think about? I don't know, y'all. Again, I could go deeper about this, and I'm sure you guys can go deeper about this when it comes to your own life. Like, where would you be without God? Like, where would you be? Where would you be? Again, I can't even imagine sometimes. Like, I have no clue, like, where I would be if things were different. Again, if I had made a couple of different choices and all of that. But I seriously doubt I would be here talking to you all and trying to share daily inspiration. And that's just the God's honest truth. That's the God's honest truth. But regardless of where we would be in our unique situations, right? There are some general things in the Word about what life looks like without God. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. So Romans 1:21, it says, "For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him, but they become futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened." Well, there you go. I meant to look up the definition for futile, because to be honest, it did not come to my mind the exact definition. But I forgot to do that. So I guess you guys can do that, on your own. We can all do that. Add that to the Go Deeper section for today. And if you aren't familiar with that word, check it out and see what it has to say. But even if we don't know what futile means, it says clearly that their foolish hearts were darkened. So yeah, I mean, that doesn't seem like a place that I want to be. I don't know about you, but yeah, let's keep going. So then Ephesians 2 and 12, it says, remember that you were at that time separated from Christ. Alienated from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers to the covenant of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. Man, living without hope. I mean, well, we can see what that looks like all around us, friends. I mean, I mean, come on, like y'all can see what that looked like. That's why, I mean, people without hope, they don't see again value in life. They don't see value in themselves. They don't see value in other people. Um, so it, it I don't know, friend. I mean, at the end of the day, the choice is always life and death. Like, what do you want to choose? Like, do you want to choose life and life more abundantly, right? Or do you want to choose death? Like, that's the choice all the time, you know? And then unfortunately, some people choose death, right? Even to the point where either they're taking someone else's life, because again, they don't value life. So what is your life to me if I don't value life? So they're taking life one way or another, or they're taking their own life one way or another. Again, if you don't see yourself as unique and beautifully and wonderfully made and all the things that the Bible tells us that we are, then hey, that's what life looks like without hope. So for me, I just stay in this thankful place. I try to stay in this place of gratitude. Like, yeah, I made some choices, right, that got me here. But at the end of the day, God is the author. He wrote the story, and I'm just living according. He's the potter. I'm the clay. Like, that's the way I see things. And I mean, again, I can literally sit here and say that, hey, I'm living life and life more abundantly. Yes, not only do I value my life, right? And but I can see again, for me, again, I know I talk a lot about my family, right? I talk a lot about my husband and my child, but I mean, these are the extensions of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, these, to me, all of this stuff is just the um tangible examples of God and his and what he does. You know what I'm saying? Life and life more abundantly. Life and life more abundantly is the life of my son. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything. It's like, as he's given me one thing, blessed me with one thing, it has, grown into more than even I imagined. And so again, that's why I share my testimony. That's why I'm open and honest about, okay, well, this is what I'm experiencing. This is what God is doing. This is what I experienced here. This is what God is doing. Like, hopefully, again, to encourage and inspire. It's not, for me, it's not bragging. It's not like, oh yes, oh, I'm married, or oh, I'm an author, or oh, I'm X, Y, and Z. It's more so like, yo, God did this and this is how he did it for me. That's what I try to do. Now, again, I don't know how people take it or whatever. Some people understand that and get that, right? And some people don't. But I mean, I guess I can't do anything about that. But yeah, man, I choose to live with hope. And in order to have that hope, we need Christ Jesus, according to the Bible. Isaiah 59 and 2, it says, but your iniquities have made a separation between you and your God, and your sins have hidden his face from you so that he does not hear. Okay, I talked about this before. It made me think about it again, that, hey, in spite of what Mr. Dietrich Haddon says, says God does not hear instead of prayer. At least that's what the Bible say. um you know I mean, how can we say here? Now, obviously, he has grace and mercy. He's always drawing us near to him, regardless of sin, right? So maybe in some aspect he does hear us, but he's not going to be. I don't know. How can you say? Because I don't know, man. Because sometimes people be living in sin and they seem like they doing better than me. You know what I'm saying? So, um, just because something looks a certain way don't mean that it is. We can see again plenty of examples of that. Plenty of celebrities and people that are rich, whatever, but they're depressed or they have all these earthly things, but then they end up killing themselves and all these different stuff. Now, obviously, there's probably other things going on behind the scenes. We're not talking about that, but still, regardless, it's like I guess sometimes we got to just look at the bigger picture, right? And so as we reflect on these things today, I hope that you guys feel free to go deeper. There's a couple of verses in the go deeper section. Again, you can add that definition of futile in there as well, looking that up. But if nothing else, think about where would you be? Where would you be? Obviously you know something about God and you know something about Christ or whatever if you decided to listen to me today. So I guess that's something. So now that God and Christ is in your life, right, I would ask myself, hey, where would I be without God? And if you don't like that picture, then keep leaning towards God. Keep allowing him to, show you the way, lead you and guide you into where he wants you to be. Because again, yeah, I had hopes and dreams. Yeah, I had things that goals and aspirations and just all kinds of things. But again, to be living in this moment is just been like, again, above and beyond. And honestly, like I said it in the book, I wouldn't trade being right here for the world. Like I get it. Like, yeah, people are making more money. And yeah, people are, there might be more things that people are doing and getting, that maybe they aren't with God or whatever the case is. But I appreciate where I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm appreciating, it's part of my life. I know I've shared my struggles. I go up and down, emotional roller coaster. Y'all done heard me on here sharing that journey with y'all. But even in spite of all of that, I definitely prefer being here. And yeah, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm thankful to again, everybody that has assisted me along the way from the very, very beginning, like my mom, to now to my son, who's probably the most recent person to, enhance my life, aside from new people that I meet, but I don't know. Like I said, this is just amazing for me, and I'm just sharing it, and I just, that's the juice, y'all. That's the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is Philippians 4:9. It says, those things which ye have learned, have both learned and received and heard and seen in me, do, and the God of peace shall be with you. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to, you guys. Sex and love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook and YouTube. Just me reflecting on my life, man. Where would I be? I hope that it encourages you and inspires you on today. Again, I truly, truly appreciate all of you all that support in any aspect. You watched this, thank you. You listened to it, thank you. You shared it, thank you. You liked it, thank you. You supported below with the Cash App or the supporters, because I do, we do have some monthly supporters. Thank you. You became a sponsor. Thank you. Any aspect, I truly, truly appreciate. Because again, it's the small things that keep me going. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the large things too. You know what I mean? I appreciate the supporters. I appreciate the sponsors. I appreciate those of you all that are helping me, keep this thing going in a way where it's like, again, I might as well go ahead and do it. Shout out to Boomer Smith. You know, again, he edited the episode that you guys are going to see. So shout out to him, boomersmith.com. Shout out to the guys in Pakistan. I mean, we're working more so on books and whatnot. Like he's working on some things for my mom now. So you see what I'm saying, y'all? I can't make this stuff up. It's like you do one thing, you sow the seed, and then so many other things flourish from it. And you know, this has just been an example of me over and over again in my life. And so, and then to just think back that everything stemmed from, well, my beginning, right? But even just taking a leap of faith and doing the daily inspiration kicked off all the rest of this stuff. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And you know, some people don't see that as a blessing, some people don't see that as a miracle or whatever, but I do. Because again, I remember when things were just thoughts. You know, and so for me, this, as people say, it's like a manifestation of all my thoughts, or you know, ideas or whatever. And I believe that those thoughts and ideas came from God. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited about what God is doing. We shall see when it comes to what's next. You know, yeah, I have some things I'm working on. Like I said, I'm helping my mom get her projects and whatnot together, so we're working on that. So that's pretty much what the guys in Pakistan, we've been kind of communicating about that type of stuff. Because again, Boomer has taken over the editing of the videos. Still shout out to Elizabeth, because Elizabeth has been awesome too, you know, being there to you know, help me out with some virtual stuff. And so appreciate that. Shout out to Miss Ashley Lockett. Good morning. Good morning to you, Queen. Appreciate you for taking out the time. I done thanked you already, because you know, but still thank you for tuning in and commenting and whatnot. Yeah, man, like I said, it's amazing. And like I said, I can't even imagine where I would be. I don't even know. Like if I made, like I said, the different crossroads that came into my life, I'm trying to think like, where would I be if I had made a different choice instead of the one I made? And it all, for me, it goes back to saying like, I probably would not be right here right now, talking to y'all. And, you know what I mean? Like, and then again, my son, he's a clear example of like, he would not be here if I had made a couple of decisions, if I had did a couple of things different in my life. So that's huge. Like a whole person wouldn't have been here like that. I don't know if y'all think about stuff like that, but I mean, it's amazing to me. And so I don't know. That's what I've been reflecting on today. It's actually done caught me at the end or whatever. I don't know if you just tuned in or whatever, but yeah, I'm done with the juice. So but you can listen to it. But give me 1 second. I'll be putting out the audio version momentarily. But again, I was just pretty much reflecting on where would I be. And for me, that's deep. That's deep. Like I said, I mean, if that don't blow your mind to think, man, a whole person wouldn't be here, that's crazy. Like, same thing with me though. Like if my grandmother had made a different decision back in the day, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if my father, again, he passed the year I was born. So if my mother and father didn't get together when they did, like, yeah, all this stuff blows my mind, y'all. It blows my mind. And it's amazing. But at the same time, hey, we're here. You know what I mean? I'm here, you know, giving a daily inspiration. I feel like God is doing something with me, for me, and through me, by me, I guess, being obedient. And again, I hope that encourages and inspires you, those that listen and watch and all of that. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go. Let me go ahead and get this audio version out. But I appreciate you again. Thank you so much to all that listen and support. Thank you, Miss Ashley, for tuning in. I know we got work to do. I know we got stuff to talk about. So just, you know, my inbox, you're a message away. But for everybody that tunes in, thank you so much for listening again, for watching. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.